A very good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Yvonne Michelle Campbell, and I will be presenting our paper on heirlooms and heritage, unveiling the cultural narratives of the Orang Ulu. Now, family heirlooms are basically cherished objects which are passed down from one generation to the next within the family. Now, oftentimes, these heirlooms are accompanied by stories or narratives that hold significant values for the family. However, due to various factors such as family disputes, natural disasters such as floods, um, or even wars, these heirlooms can't be lost. Now, in terms of material culture, because heirlooms are material culture, they are often associated with the belief, customs, and values that are deemed important by the people. So, in order to understand the people's life, history, culture, and identity, one of the ways is to know the stories behind the family heirlooms. So we start off by introducing the Orang Ulu of Sarawak. Now, the term Orang Ulu is basically a political term, which is coined to group together these 27 very small but ethnically diverse group in Sarawak. Uh, we have within the Orang Ulu group, we have the Kayan, the Kenyah, the Kejaman, the Lahanan, the Lun Bawang, the Kelabit group, and a lot more um, of this Orang Ulu group. Now, even though there's 27 small groups altogether and they are ethnically diverse, they only make 0.4% of the total population of Malaysia and only 6.2% of the total population of Sarawak, thus making them the fifth largest minority group in Sarawak. Now, most Orang Ulu villages can be found in the inland areas of Kapit, Bintulu, Miri, and Limbang. Nowadays, about 80% of the longhouses and villages are accessible by track timber, which can only be which accessed by four-wheel drive. There are some villages that are only still accessible by boat. Some orang Hulu, especially the younger generation, have migrated to urban towns and cities such as Miri, Kuching, Limbang, as well as Kuala Lumpur itself, in search of working opportunities as well as education. Now, our research, which is a case study, interviewed three Orang Ulu individuals who have heirlooms with them. Um, Basically, the aim of the research is to explore the stories behind the heirlooms as well as to explore the significance of these heirlooms to the family. We interviewed three informants. Informant A, a male from the suburb group from Ulu Tinjar, is 37 years old. We have informant B, also male, 30 years old, from the Klabit group in Baram. And informant C, a female from the Berawan group of Logan Bunut. um, she's about 70 years old. Most of these interviews, not all of these interviews, are actually audio and video recorded. Now, since they use Bahasa Melayu, the interviews were transcribed into Bahasa Melayu, but for the purpose of publication, we translated them into English. So basically, we asked the informants to narrate the stories behind the heirlooms. There were also guided questions like, uh, where do you think this heirloom came from? That kind of question, just to help guide the informant. So our results and discussion, we had four. We discovered four heirlooms: a belt, a ring, a beaded necklace, as well as a set of gong. Now, overall, basically, we discovered that the narratives behind these heirlooms reveal that each of them, which they inherit from their grandparents, carries a unique story and enhances the historical, cultural, and sentimental significance. So we start off with the belt. This belt belongs to informant A, who's from the suburb group. Now, the belt is made out of iron. It consists of a collection of coins, which are joined together using iron wires, and there's a hook at the end here. Okay, at the end of the belt, there's a plate which bears the symbol of a fish. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a symbol of a fish there. The belt was about 20 inches long, and it's very, very small. It was part of a wedding dowry, or hantaran, we would say in Malay, of the informant's great grandmother. It has actually been in the family for six generations now, according to informant A. The coins, the story behind it is that these coins were collected and they were made by a blacksmith into a belt. Now, if we were to look at the coins, they were from different era, different times. We have Queen Victoria in 1984 here. We have King Edward, the coin from King Edward's time, 1902, as well as from Charles Brooke, 1900 and 1906. There were also coins from the Strait settlements as well as Hong Kong. Okay, moving on to the ring. The ring also belonged to informant A, also from his great grandmother, but the story was it was given to his great grandmother from her elder brother, who gave the ring, a set of rings to his sisters, and one of them was the informant's great grandmother, who later on gave it to his grandmother, and whose grandmother gave it to his aunt, and his aunt gave it to his younger sister. So there's a Chinese inscription inside on the inside part of the ring. It is made of pure gold, and it was very heavy and solid. So, according to informant A, in his family, the heirlooms, these two heirlooms, were given to those who were close to the giver. Okay, so whoever was close to the person who owned it at the time will inherit it. Now, the third heirloom is a beaded necklace known as kabo. Now, this is from informant B, who's from the Kalabit group. This is basically a man's necklace. Now, the red bauble here is known or is called busa, which means flower, basically because it resembles a bud or a flower. It was given to his father by his in law, which is his mother's parents, as part of, again, a wedding gift. It was later given to him since he was the only son in the family. So, since this is a man's necklace, usually it's given to the male in the family. According to informant B, this necklace could be more than 100 years old. Um, Kabo is usually used by the tribal men in the olden days, and at that time, it was a taboo for women to wear it. But now we see even women wearing it. So the blue beads here, they are considered very valuable in the olden days. It's very expensive, and according to informant B, these beads were more transparent. I mean, they're the original beads, the expensive beads. They are more transparent than what is used in today's bead making. Uh, the fourth heirloom is a set of gong, which was given to informant C from the Brawan group by her grandparents. Now, this set of gongs, they were made of brass and bronze, and contain various types of musical instruments. We have the gong, the tawa, the chanang, and the ketabo. Usually, these instruments were played during festivities and given to the next generation in the family. So, in terms of the historical significance, these heirlooms reflect the trading activities in the olden days, whether it's directly or indirectly. In the case of the gong beads, the gold ring, and the belts, they may have been obtained through trading activities in the olden days. You see, the beads of Borneo, most of them are from China, India, Middle East, and Europe. Most of this trading happened within the 6th to the 12th century. Now, however, some of these beads are from Venetia and Bohemia. They were brought in by English and Dutch merchants. So it shows this kind of trading activity happening in those days. Now, besides that, the coins itself, as you can see from Queen Victoria's era, King Edward, Charles Brooke, and even the Strait settlement, as well as from Hong Kong, shows the trading relationship and activities that happened during that time. Now we can see the influence of British as well towards the trades in Borneo. It also influenced the monetary system. You see, during the Brooke era, especially the times of Charles Brooke, according to Zhou and Kim, they closely link the Sarawak dollar to the trade settlement currency. This is to increase the trading activities with Singapore, which is part of the trade settlement of the time. Now, $1 Sarawak was equivalent to $1 straight settlement dollar. So, therefore, this again reflects that historical significance. And then we have the cultural significance, which is the heirlooms that embodied the connection between the people, the material itself, with the cultural practices, the rituals, and the traditions of the Orang Ulu. For one, in the olden days, only the aristocrats could own certain types of beads, especially the blue beads that was shown in the heirlooms just now. In fact, according to Dit and Fong, the lower caste of some of these groups, you don't usually see them having this kind of beads. So it was only reserved for the aristocrats or the Maran in this context. It was also a symbol of status. So those who have these beads, it shows their social status within the community. Besides that, the male beaded necklace, the kabo, was something that only men could wear in the olden days, reflecting their culture, and it was worn during hunting or traveling to other villages, often to indicate which tribe they came from. As I mentioned earlier, there are many tribes or many groups within the Ulu, and this can be seen based on the size of the beads. Besides that, the gong itself is something which is used during weddings and festivities only, and also is a valuable heirloom which belongs to the aristocrat families. Again, it indicates the social and economical status of the family. In terms of sentimental significance, it is something which the informant find as priceless, as something that cannot be replaced, and it reminded them of their ancestors, especially those who were close to them, and it was something which they hoped to pass on to the future generation. However, there were concerns because nowadays a lot of their crafts are commodified, and therefore the original or the authenticity of the art of the craft um, could be lost. So that is why heirlooms are very important because they are in the original form. So basically, the narratives behind these family heirlooms reflect not only the sentimental significance but also the cultural and historical significance. And with that, they would like to pass it on to the next generation. In fact, it is so valuable that when asked if the museum would like to get to have, to obtain these heirlooms, they say that they would not give it to them. Uh, so, as a conclusion, preserving these heirlooms and narratives surrounding them is important to maintain the cultural identity of the Orang Ulu community, and on a personal level, it is a reminder of the family history. So, before I end my presentation, a quote from Elizabeth Ashton: anyone may have diamonds. An heirloom is an ornament of quite a different kind. Okay, and with that, I end my presentation. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you may email me via my email address. Thank you.